Hello and welcome back to the Dead Knitter Society YouTube channel. This is the Knitting and Grieving podcast. Today is episode 8, which is awesome and amazing. I think I'm kind of liking this weekly thing. My semester just started on Monday. Oh, by the way, I should probably tell you, my name is Mira. Hi. This is a little podcast where I let my ADHD flag fly and we talk about processing the grief over losing my mom through the fiber art that we both shared. But yes, so my semester started on Monday. I had a nice 3-week break through the holidays, but I am back now working full time, parenting some kids, trying to be a good partner and human while also getting my master's degree. So, welcome. Please, if you like my videos, hit like, hit subscribe, hit the alarm button. All right, so last time I told you I would be wearing this sweater next time, and here we are. So I finished, this is the Sizzle Pop Sweater by Leslie Ann Robinson of Knit Graffiti Designs, Brioche Queen. Love her. Her patterns make a lot of sense. They are well written. They're clear. I find them to be very accurate. She is also just a delightful human being. So we'll say that. And I knit this in Purple Lamb Fiber Arts Squoosh DK. So it's DK weight. I am obsessed. I love it. I love it so much. I cast off and wove in my ends on New Year's Day. And then I blocked it. I got slightly concerned at how much it appeared that the sleeves had grown in blocking. But once it dried, I was a little bit concerned that here we'll show you. I was concerned that this was gonna be like Pooh Beared and up here. It is not. I'm like the headless sweater right now. Yeah, the length blocked really well. I love how this fits. It feels like this looks loose, but it doesn't. It fits nicely. It's really kind of perfect. There's no short row shaping in here. It's just really clever increases around the patterning. So yes, I wore it for my birthday on Monday. And I do love, if there's one thing I might do, I might take 10 rows off of the sleeves. Now, it is cold as fadoodle here in New England right now. But so this gauntlet cover is very cozy in my jacket and whatnot as I was walking around in the wind. But while I'm knitting, I'm tending to roll the gauntlet back a little bit. But yes, so I knit this in a size 4. I'm just about a 40-inch bust. I like my sweaters to fit with 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches of positive ease. And this is exactly that. So very happy about it. That is my finished object. The first one of the year. I know I didn't start it this year, but I'm still gonna put that in the win column for this year. I need all the wins I can get. I will say, I saw that same friend who gave me that wonderful tidbit about giving yourself the year. I saw her for coffee on Sunday, and she mentioned that I seem more myself. And I will say that is through trying. I am trying to remember what it feels like to be me without quite so much sadness. But I also kind of really spent the break looking at the parts of my life that I had let fall down, kind of in the wreckage of how do you live a life without, the person who defines your life, the outer boundaries, that outer safety net of your life is your parents, I feel like. It's almost like in the Hunger Games, you don't know where the edge is until you shoot the arrow, and then it completely shatters your illusions of what the world is. So, but I was trying to think about the person that I want to feel like, and what does that person do? So I have thoroughly been enjoying my week of, we're doing it for longer. But this week, pulling socials off of my phone has been kind of magic. I have turned around and am spending, I mean, not a ridiculous amount of time on Duolingo, but I'm doing a lot more Duolingo and actually progressing in Italian and Dutch. And I also, I'm still playing Wordle because we have like some text threads that are connections to people. But I'm chatting with people a lot more. I'm reading a lot more. I already finished a book this year, which I don't think I've finished a book in a week in probably 10 years. So all of that has felt really positive, and it's made me feel more me. So that's been good. And I've been trying to like actually drink my water because I was a very dehydrated bitch. But while we're there, cheers, because I need coffee. Anywho, what mom made. I pulled this up. Mom was so creative. Oh, she was so brilliant. This is like a multimedia dress. She knit the bodice. Bella wore this in preschool. I can actually, if you'll forgive me, after I show you this, I will pop back. I'm pretty sure she's wearing this in some of the pictures, or maybe I'll show you in another video. But so this is like a corduroy fabric. And then she also knit on applique to it. But just a super sweet little, it's probably a 3T or a 4T size, with just a little, raglan shoulder shaping, little cute, sweet t-shirt, just, and then she just sewed it on to the bottom of a dress. I feel like she did this because Bella had outgrown the dress itself, but she liked the fabric a lot. So mom just knit on a bodice because she was brilliant that way. So that was what mom made. I actually really want to throw that through the wash. My little niece is 3, and I think that'll fit her as eventually it's going to warm up here in like 5 months. So hopefully that will still fit. So now to show you what I'm working on. And yes, I know. We have big plans. I have been reading through the Knitter's Almanac. The very first project is a steeked Aran sweater, guys. I'm not sure that I'm actually ready to jump into a steeked sweater, first off. It's terrifying. But I'm reading it. I'm taking steps. So I was like, I'm gonna knit a ranunculus. That is something that is, you can modify it, you can make it your own. It is a wildly popular pattern. I think it's got it's always in the top 20 on Ravelry if you use Ravelry, and it has been for like 15 years. It is wildly popular in part because you buy one pattern, there are already 2 different necklines to start with, infinite modifications you can make to the sleeves and to the length. So it's very much like a template, I guess, a sweater template with really pretty detailing and neat techniques. So New Year's Day night, it's like 10 o'clock at night. I'm gonna lay the scene for you. 10 o'clock at night. And I am trying to learn how to do a tubular cast on off of a provisional crocheted edge. And let me tell you, I feel like this was punishment for my hubris at declaring that because I can knit and purl, I am the master of my own universe. Because it's a larger needle than I typically knit with ever, so it felt really clunky, and the yarn has cotton in it, so it's really stiff. It's like 25% merino, 25% cotton, and then a blend of like linen and silk, but those are tougher, not stretchy fibers as well. So I was struggling. I tried 3 different times. I almost burned it. I cursed the designer, I'm sorry. It wasn't a good moment for me. So then I decided the next morning that I was going to start something else, and I will come back to that. I've been since kind of watching some tutorials on how to do that particular cast on. And I'm also considering making my first ranunculus with a different neckline because I can, and that would be making it my own and along this journey. So, you know, but in the meantime, I cast on something that I had had in my queue for a while, which is the Mabel Sweater designed by Joji Locatelli. I've knit several of her shawls and a couple of her sweaters. Again, her patterns are well written. Sometimes I'll read it and be like, I have no idea what she's talking about. But then I actually just knit it. Sometimes following a pattern is like, you have to just abandon your own brain. And if the Mabel Sweater is named for the character Mabel in Only Murders in the Building, which is a show that I really enjoy. But I didn't like the color, so I picked this. This is a Hue Loco. It was one of their, I think it was out of the Canyon collection. It's Gunnison Gorge in their Merino Sock. So it's a fingering weight. This is a fingering weight sweater. This is going to take a while. But this is a stitch pattern I've never done before. It's a waffle stitch. And you do this neat technique where you knit into the stitch below on some of the, like, Joji has a really nice tutorial video of it, but you literally just, again, I was trying to make it too complicated. You just put your needle into the stitch below the one that's on your needle. But yeah, raglan shaping, you end up at the end picking up the neckline to make a ribbed neckline with a tubular sewn bind off. But I'm loving it. This yarn is super soft. It's showing the stitch pattern. This is a very, it's 4-row repeat of a very easily memorizable, I can remember it, pattern. And it's been easy to keep track of the repeats. I've just been moving my little numbered stitch marker up each time I finish a repeat so that I'll have the right count before I split for the sleeves. So that's what I've been doing for now. And I also, so when I finished this sweater, I had a full skein each of the colors that I used for the Sizzle Pop. So I have cast on, I think this, so I am riffing off of a pattern. And again, I'm a little bit proud of myself because I'm not just following the pattern blindly, you know, baby steps here. But this is the Simple Thing, which is a nice little like scarflet. It's kind of like a knockoff. Well, it's probably not a knockoff, but it is similar to the Sophie scarf if you're familiar with that. I don't really get that whole like thing. There's a lot of controversy on the internet about the Sophie scarf, and I don't know, it's just a little scarf, guys. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. But this was a free pattern, the Simple Thing. Free pattern, love that. Thank you, designer, whose name is escaping me, but I will post a link to the pattern on Ravelry. But I love seeing how this is knitting up just in simple garter stitch, which is different than, you know, obviously than brioche. And then for the purple, which I want to say is called Eggplant, I am going to do a similar shaped little scarf, but probably with a lace pattern. This is just a beautiful, like kind of tonal, if you can see, there's a little bit of variation. Beautiful tonal solid. And I think it'll show off a lace pattern really nicely. So, yeah. So I'm working on those. Those are kind of like my travel mindless. Although honestly, my Mabel is a little bit mindless right now while I'm just doing increases. So yeah, that's what we've got going on. So I suppose I have a question, dear audience. Is seeing like a finished object diary something that you would be interested in, like getting more detailed notes on knitting it, reflections, reactions? Definitely let me know. And if you have any tips and tricks for not being such a weenie about steeking, I definitely am all ears. But yeah, and then we got to go through those WIPs, guys. I'm putting that off. I've been putting that off. It is tough because, well, it's about to get easier. In my family, it is ski season, so that means that we're typically gone weekends. And aforementioned semester started job stuff. But my middle child works at a local ski area, and so he will be teaching on Saturdays. So sorry about the cats. Hi guys. So on the Saturdays where I have him, I will actually be home on Saturday before we go up to Killington for what will be one day. So I think I'll actually have a little bit of time to see more friends in person and get through my, are we going to frog these? Are we going to work on them? Are we going to reknit them in a more appropriate size to the 5 years later? Because most of them I cast on, I think, in like 2019, and that was a different time. So, yeah, anyway, thank you as always. I have to say it was really that same feeling of moving into a new calendar year, but also moving into a new year of my life without my mom. Really weird, but it was a good day. It was a good day. I think living life as a grieving person is such a balance of making sure that you can still see what's beautiful around you, but making space, well, you have no choice but to make space for the absence of the person in your heart. But it's really important to still see what's beautiful around you. So I will leave that, leave you with that one for this week. Again, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Leave me some comments. I love your comments. It's so amazing. And I will see you in the next one. Go forward with love in your heart.